So there's this trend now with rich streamers going out and they sometimes have bodyguards with them. And in this very wholesome video, this particular streamer actually gets schooled by the bodyguard. Like the bodyguard acts like a genuine father and gives him some of the best advice that you can ever give to a young man. So let's listen together and then we're going to comment afterwards.
What that jacket said was, I shit money. That's it.
That's vibe. That's the vibe I want to.
Yeah, that's the vibe you want to put out there, right?
I shit money.
Okay, so shit it on me. Give me some money.
I don't shit money.
Oh. The fact is, bro, is you want that? I'm serious. It's a phone call to Vegas and you sending me your logo.
Yeah. But like the quality.
There's no difference in quality. That jacket was made in China.
I'm about to hold on.
That jacket was made in China? Nice, bro. I might as well just go to China then.
It's cheaper over there.
God, bro. I need something. I need some.
Wait.
Go to the LA garment district, bro, and literally, for that same 3,500, you can outfit everybody you know with Letterman jackets.
All right.
What that jacket said.
My God, that bodyguard. I never said this to another man, but I want him to be my daddy. And ironically, his kids are going to be the wisest on the block. It doesn't matter if they go to an institution of higher learning like Harvard, where they learn the mystery arts of gender studies. Simply by being home with their father and getting that level of sage advice is going to make them more successful people. So I will tell you what's happening because I know a little bit behind the scenes, and also being a streamer myself, I can tell you a little bit of the stories. A lot of content creators, a lot of streamers, they start out being incredibly poor. Like, they start out from families that have absolutely nothing. And when you're growing up, you're looking at all these other rich kids that have money, they have expensive cars, they, manage to attract all sorts of lovely ladies. And you want to be like them, you want to hang around with them, but they never want to hang around with you because you're poor. So I don't know if this is like the same everywhere around the world, but it's definitely a thing in Eastern Europe, right? Like the class definitely exists. You have like the rich kids and the poor kids. And like you want to be like them. And the thing is, like, once you start streaming and you are lucky enough to find success, you become wealthy overnight, right? So now you have a lot of money, but you're not used to being rich. Because rich people who grow up with rich families, they know how to be rich. Like, they know how to spend their money in a way that's not screaming like, hey, I'm trying to show off. But when you have a person that manages to climb the social ladder, they're trying to prove it's like, hey, I managed to do it. I want to show up that I have wealth. And you're buying like all this shit that you don't really need. And what you're doing is, like, instead of like trying to display that you're wealthy, you're displaying that you're an asshole, if it makes any sense, right? You're displaying that you're a douchebag, basically. And everyone notices this, right? And when you do that, you're also signaling to other people that you're an easy mark. And this is what the bodyguard is basically trying to tell him. It's like, hey, don't be an easy mark. Don't make my job more difficult than it has to be. Because it will happen. Like, I remember Hassan Piker, he went to Mexico, and he was very upset that he felt as if everyone is ripping him off because people think he's Turkish. He had, like, this entire stream, and I was like, no, motherfucker, they're ripping you off because you're showing that you have wealth, right? And he probably doesn't understand it because when I looked at him, he was dressed normally. Of course, he also had the watch, probably the expensive wallet as well. And people in Mexico, like, know that, right? They know how to spot an American. It wasn't that he was Turkish, it was that he was a rich American boy, which was attracting unwanted attention. So, like, the taxi driver was overcharging him. The security guard at the border tried to get more money out of him, right? Because they don't have street smarts, right? Like, if you're poor, first of all, it's not necessarily in how you dress, but like your shirt loses its color because you don't buy a new one until you absolutely need one, right? So you're washing it so many times that it starts losing color. You don't have money to put gel on your hair, right? Like poor people aren't dirty, but they're not to the point where they buy new clothes every month. They're not to the point where they go to the most expensive hairstylist every month, or they're spending money on beauty products. Again, like maybe in America they do, right? So it may differ from country to country. Like I did hear like furries, for instance. You know, they don't have any money, but they spend everything they have on art, which costs like $2,000. But what I'm trying to say is that in Eastern Europe, and I think in Mexico as well, like people who are poor are a lot more practical. And again, it's not about like being dirty or like walking with clothes that are torn. But you're using the same clothes up until it's absolutely necessary that you buy new ones, if it makes any sense, right? So like when you're walking around like a sandpiper with brand new clothes and you have an expensive watch in it, you're telling people, hey, I'm wealthy and I don't fit in. And it's the same thing with this streamer, right? Like when you go around with a $3,500 jacket, it's not necessarily like a better product. You just want to tell people that you're wealthy. And the question is like, why? Why do you want to tell other people that you're wealthy? Especially when you're walking around dangerous places. You're just going to make the life of your bodyguards that much difficult, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to think that you're an easy mark, and they're going to try to take cash away from you. This was presented in Breaking Bad. If you guys remember, the guy that was selling pills, right? And he bought like this very expensive 4x4, and Mike immediately tells him like, we're not driving around in that. And he also gets in trouble with the cops, because now the cops see that he's got money and he can't justify where he's getting it from. So this is a problem that many people do, you know, like if you have cash, like that's a good thing, but like buy something that you actually need, you know, save it and then put the down payment to get a mortgage, or save it and then buy yourself a car. You know, like something that makes sense. Do not spend $3,500 on a jacket, which is going to wear and tear within 1 year. And it's probably cheaper in China. And it's also made in China, right? And you're not impressing the women either. Like most ladies, maybe they know that is a $3,500 jacket, but they also know, this guy probably got rich quick. So it most likely won't last. Like women know these things, right? Especially if they're professional at gold digging, because that's the type of woman that I guess you want to attract if you want to have a $3,500 jacket. Really great bodyguard, by the way. You should charge extra for the sage advice. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.